Hello, welcome back. Time for the Mage achievement. Spatial Awareness, cast 25, and then 50 spells created by Pocket Dimension. Okay then. Pocket Dimension says discover a spell, repeat until you see one for the second time. So ostensibly that could go on for quite a long time because there's quite a lot of spells out there. Although until you see one for the second time doesn't necessarily mean until you've picked one for the second time. So each cycle does take 3 out of the pool for allowing it to continue. Still, I think you can probably reasonably expect to discover 3 or 4 spells out of this, uh, just at a guess. So certainly, I would like ways to copy the pocket dimension itself, and then if I'm going to do that, then I want a way to shuffle the pocket dimension back into my deck after I've cast a Dryscale in case I draw the pocket dimension first. So, but other than that, I think what we're going to want is a deck that is cheap enough to keep our hand relatively empty because we want the space to discover, like on a high roll, maybe we could get like 5 spells out of this. So we don't want to keep a bunch of stuff in our hand. But at the same time, we do want to draw a bunch to get to this. And I was thinking about the possibility of including the tide pool and some discover effects, but then that sort of necessarily like keeps you wanting to hold spells in your hand and hold the tide pool in your hand in order to get those discovers at the right time in order to copy the pocket dimension itself. So I think that would be a little bit counterproductive. We would rather just have tools to draw and survive and still keep our hand relatively empty. So I'm actually not going to put quite as much draw as normal, or maybe fewer cards but that draw more, if that makes sense. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I think I could potentially be onto something here. So certainly I have the Ceaseless Expanse. I'm pretty much putting that in almost every deck just to try to make some progress on that. I do have the Rogue Tourist primarily for access to the Knickknack Shack, which is essentially draw 4, but not just draw 4 when I have the space to draw it in my hand. This is like just a wonderful card. Um, I can chain if it is appropriate for me to do so, or I could space this out as needed based on my hand size. I also have a couple of. I also went ahead and included the Robocaller, which so my mana curve are 1, 2, 3, 4s, and 6s and 7s, which means as this dials its numbers around, I can sort of target a draw. If I want the Gaslight Gatekeepers or the Pocket Dimensions, I'll go for a 4. There's not really a particular reason to go for the Tourist, but 1s, 2s, and 3s. A 2 will specifically get the Dryscale Deputy. It is the only 2-drop in my deck. And that is largely due to the Metronome. After I play a 1-cost card, draw a 2-cost card. So I wanted the Metronome to be a way that I could reliably get the Dryscale Deputy if I don't have it already. And that's one of the main reasons I have so many 1-drops. So once I hit turn 4, or turn 3 with a coin, I could drop a Metronome, drop a 1-drop, and get the Dryscale Deputy. And then once I play the Dryscale Deputy, I'll get a 3-drop, and dial this up, and once I get that, I can get a 4-drop, which is either going to be Gaslight Gatekeeper or the Pocket Dimension itself. So in this way, I hope to be able to really advance the speed at which I can get Dryscale Deputy and then Pocket Dimension in that order. But I still have the Gaslight Gatekeepers. You know what? Maybe I should only have one Gaslight Gatekeeper, and then only use it after I have played both Dryscale Deputies if I already have Pocket Dimensions in hand. I think that is probably better, and then I'll want to put in one more Maybe I target a single 5-drop somewhere. Yeah, I'll put a Sleet Skater in, and then that way, if I really need a Sleet Skater, the Robocaller could land on 5, and that would get me specifically the Sleet Skater. So that seems good to me. So now I do have stuff to draw with the Robocaller all the way up until 6 mana. Ceaseless Expanse will never be drawn by the Robocaller, but still. It could be a bunch of draw or a little bit of draw depending on what the numbers dial. So I have some control there. Alright, let's see how it works out.
Kael'thas versus Garrosh.
Victory or death!
Technically,
Seems my work is not finished.
Technically, this is attempt number 2. My previous opponent conceded for an unknown reason, like they were very high on health. I had a wide board, but not a really threatening one, and maybe they had to go. I don't know. But that makes this a second attempt now. What I really want to see in my opening hand, Metronomes, Dryscale Deputies. Those are the things that I mainly want to see. The Robocaller could draw a lot, but I think I would rather draw into that later maybe. Sure. I would like to maintain one drop in my hand in order to combine with the Metronome, but I don't need to keep more than one drop in my hand at a time for that.
Don't hang up.
So I'll go ahead and put that down.
Now where did I put my explosives?
Don't hang up.
Okay, so a 6, a 4, and a 1. I don't want to do that right now because the 4 is very likely a pocket dimension. So let's just do this.
Have you filled out the paperwork?
And I am much more concerned with impacting the enemy's battle board. So, hey, those are not bad.
Don't hang up.
Excellent. A Dryscale Deputy.
The snake in your boot.
I do still want to maintain a 1-drop in my hand in case I get another Metronome. So, here we go.
Don't hang up.
A 4, a 9, and an 8. So this will draw either the Gaslight Gatekeeper or one of the pocket dimensions, which will get doubled because of the Dryscale Deputy. So this is a decent time for that. And then we would like to reduce our hand size a bit so that we can cast those pocket dimensions.
I bring the rhythm.
So here's a good opportunity to
A limited time offer.
destroy that and reduce our hand size. But I don't want to cast a 1-drop one now because I would actually rather save that for the Metronome.
Gotta get through me. Load it up.
Alright, so
A limited time offer.
I have plenty of 1-drops. I'll find another one. Let's just empty our hand more.
What a deal!
Load it up.
Oh, excellent. We got the additional. Let's do that immediately.
Snake in your boot.
And let's start discovering. Let's go to Soul Freeze. That's a powerful option. Star Power is very good. And I guess we must have seen an additional card in there. And let's go ahead and cast the Soul Freeze immediately.
Eureka! Eureka! Load it up! Eureka! Fins where I can see ya!
Job done.
Eureka! Eureka! Load it up! Eureka!
Don't hang up.
And let's discover more. Might need that soon. And I can do that right now. To there.
Job done.
Eureka! Eureka!
Don't hang up.
3. I literally can't destroy them all with the Sunset Valley. Which means this is probably my best option. I'll do a Blizzard. And I will just cast it again to get rid of all of those.
Don't hang up.
Well, the chances of me surviving the next turn are pretty low. The only thing that I can think of that could accomplish that would be shuffling and getting lucky and getting like the one little tiny taunt in my deck. But maybe this'll summon a taunt. Fair. And I die anyway. That being said, we did make 6 progress, which is like that's the most progress you could get if you didn't have any ways of copying. I think I think I have good ways of getting the pocket dimension early in order to make use of it. And if I could have survived that one turn, then maybe the Robocaller could have gotten me the other pocket dimension, which would have gotten doubled. So, I think the deck is good for making progress here. I don't think it's good for for winning games. But yeah, here we go. Have a good one.